What's up guys, my name is Sully and today I'm bringing you a 100% full game walkthrough for Maize, and I'm making this video on behalf of Macca. Maize is a quirky and surreal adventure game. It plays a lot like a point and click adventure, but it's in the first person perspective. So in this game you're tasked with kind of exploring around, finding items, using them to solve puzzles, etc. The game has 14 achievements for 1000 gamer score, and we're going to complete it in about an hour and 45 minutes. The achievements break down like this. 12 of them are for progression. As we play through the game, those will unlock naturally. One is for finding all of the collectibles. There are 75 and they are called folio items. I will point those all out to you as we progress through the game. And one achievement is for completing the game in a single session in under 2 hours, which we will also get done, and you'll get that completed by following what I do in this guide. Once the game starts here, what we will do is see a little brief tutorial. It's going to tell you that you can use left stick and right stick to move around. You can hold left trigger to run. It'll tell you that later. I don't know why it doesn't tell you initially. What we're going to do is follow this path, and we're going to reach a door that we are looking to get unlocked in order to progress. That door is right here. Now you see, as I approach this door, I have a cursor, a little dot in the center of my screen. As I approach this door, you'll now see a highlighted section. If you see anything in the game that's highlighted white, that means you can interact with it. So as I approach that white highlighted section, it turns yellow, and now I can use A or RT, which are the action buttons, to interact with that panel. And you'll see here are the 3 different keys I need for this door that we're going to go find. So I'll turn around and head towards the farmhouse. I'm going to enter a corn maze right now, and it's got some offshoots, but it's mostly linear, so it's really, I mean, you could take a wrong way and hit a dead end, but there's really not too many paths for you to take. It's pretty straightforward in getting through here. If you get turned around, you might end up back where you started, but it shouldn't be too difficult for you to make it through like I have. And I'm going to come into this clearing, and I want to quickly talk about a couple of things. Off in the distance you see a stack of orange boxes. Those are the way that they limit progression. I need to do certain things in order to make those barriers disappear. On the table you see 2 items that are highlighted in white, and that's might be kind of hard to see because the table is light in color, so it might create a difficult contrast. But there's a round item on the left and a paper square item on the right. Some items are usable items and go into your inventory to where you can have sort of direct control with them, and the other items are story items which sort of go into a collection. So this item on the left is an English muffin. As I approach it and put my cursor on it, you see the cursor becomes that action icon. I'll push the action button to pick up the English muffin. You'll see that orange barrier disappeared. That was the requirement for progression. If I press my right bumper, I can toggle that item being sort of active. You can see on the bottom of the screen, or if I push it again, now you see the up at the top of the screen where it says English muffin. That's sort of my inventory that I can toggle through. I like to turn usable items sort of off so I have nothing equipped, so to speak, not to limit my field of vision. This other item on the right, when I put my cursor on it, it says that story items will be added to your folio. So when I press on that, it says item added to folio. The folio can be accessed with the X button. When I press X, now I have this screen showing me in the upper right hand corner I have 1 of 75 folio items, and it is a welcome note. Every time I get to a folio item, I will point it out, I will pick it up, and I will open this screen so we can be sure that we are progressing together towards the 75th one. With that said, I'll close that screen and continue along the path. We're trying to get to the farmhouse now. As you can see it kind of off on the right. The farmhouse is locked, so the first thing I need to do is find a key. Once I reach this opening, I'm going to turn left down this path towards a statue. You'll see a highlightable item on the ground. I'm going to go interact with that, pick it up. It's a broken shovel handle. It's a usable item, so I'm going to press that right bumper and toggle over so I have no usable item kind of infringing on my field of view. I don't need to use it right now, so I can just sort of unequip it. I'll head around the farmhouse to the back, and you'll see a path that leads to this chicken coop. As I approach the door, you see it turns white so I can interact with it. I'll get close, open it up. I will enter the chicken coop. You'll see another item, a key on the wall inside. I'll go pick that up, and now I'm ready to enter the farmhouse. So I'll backtrack to the house and go around to the front, and this key will allow me to unlock the front door so I can get inside. Okay, as I approach this front door, I'll use the key. The front door is opened. This will unlock the first progression achievement, Country Living. Now that we're in the house, we can head straight back to the kitchen. I want to collect a couple of items back here. I'll pick up this fruit crate on the floor. I'll pick up this rancid corn oil over on the shelving. I'll ignore this sausage grinder for now. We can't do anything with it yet. And I'm going to head into the bathroom where I'm going to pick up a bathtub plug, which I will immediately use in the nearby sink. The sink is plugged, so I will use the rancid corn oil on the sink. It dumps it in there, and we'll leave that alone for now. We'll come back to it shortly. I'm going to open the medicine cabinet and pick up the nail clippers, and then I'm going to head out through the kitchen and over into the pantry, and we'll see an interactive item about knee level. So if I press in my left stick, I can crouch, and I'll approach that and use it. That unlocks a secret door on the right. I can now interact with that cabinetry to open up a way to the cellar. Down in the cellar, there is a fuse box that is missing a fuse, so I need to go find a fuse. So what we'll do is we'll head over to the other exit from the cellar, which is these stairs. I will interact with this latch. Now we're back outside in the back of the farmhouse. I'm going to head along that path past the chicken coop and down another path that's going to lead me to an outhouse. And with the nail clippers as my active item, I will use them on a nail in the outhouse, and that will give me the rusty nail. Next to the outhouse, I see a highlighted rock. That gets added to my folio as a mediocre rock, folio item 2 of 75. We will now head back to the cellar where I can use this rusty nail in the fuse box and restore power to the farmhouse. And here we go. Fuse is returned. Flip the switch to it is now slightly less dark than it was before by restoring power to the farmhouse. So now I want to go out to the main room, do a couple of things. Here's the front door. First thing I'm going to do is come into this room, and there's a folio item in the back. I will pick that up, folio item number 3 of 75, the invoice for a carved wooden statue. I'll go to the room across the hallway. There's a folio item on a bookshelf in the back. That is folio item 4 of 75, a really boring mystery novel. There is a CD player in this room that I can interact with. When it opens up, I can take this compact disc out, and that tells me, now that I have that, a new path has opened to the barn and to the silo. What I want to do before I head down that new path is go upstairs. Once I go upstairs, I'm going to turn left and follow this bedroom around by the window to a nightstand where I can pick up a bobby pin. I'm going to go into the other room, and I'm going to make the fruit crate my active item. You can see it can be placed here. Then if I use this broken shovel handle, I can knock over this wardrobe, and that'll lead me up to the attic. We're not ready to go up there yet. Instead, I'm going to go out and exit through the front door and head down the path towards the barn. I can see the picture there on that little couch. And we have some business to attend to in the barn and then out in the silo. Once I reach the barn, what I'm going to do is, the game is now telling me press LT to sprint, but we've known that all along. In the barn, go through the front door, head to the back. Don't bother going upstairs yet. We're going to get a folio item that's in plain view on a chair back here. And that is a book titled Corn of the World, folio item 5 of 75. Return back towards the front of the barn and take the stairs up to the second level. Here we have a usable item, a broom. I'll pick that up. Then behind us on a bale of hay, there is folio item 6 of 75, 1/2 of a diagram. We'll head back down to the bottom, and we will circle around the barn to the back. There's going to be a path on the left. We're not going to take that. That will lead to a tractor, and that's something where we'll actually be blocked out there, so it's not even worth trying. But that tractor will be part of a future chapter. We're going to now instead head to the silo. Once we get to this point, the path forks. I'm going to take the right fork to the silo. I have the bobby pin as my active item. This will let me open the padlock on the silo door. Once that chain falls off, I can open the door on the right. I want to use the broom on this pile of corn to reveal needle nose pliers and pick those up. There are 2 folio items in here. That's number 7 of 75, an old telescope. And then on the wall, we see number 8 of 75, a weathered, tattered blueprint. We're done in the silo, so now let's head back to this path that kind of forked and take the left fork. That's going to lead over to a clearing. We'll be visiting this clearing several times as we play through the game. This is kind of the noticeable item out here is some sort of a conduit. You can see the path straight across has those orange boxes and is blocked. What we have out here in this clearing is a cadaver of sorts with a gloved severed hand. I'll go ahead and pick that up. There is a very fashionable fedora that is folio item 9 of 75. There is some sort of a charred name tag that is folio item 10 of 75. And now I'm ready to return to the farmhouse. What we're going to do in the farmhouse is we're going to use those needle nose pliers and pull an item out of that sausage grinder in the kitchen. Then we're going to put the gloved severed hand into the vat of rancid oil, into the sink full of rancid oil in the bathroom, and that'll allow the severed hand to slip out of the glove. Yummy. Let's see. Of course, holding LT to sprint as to maximize my movement around here. Okay, here is the house. Once we get into the farmhouse, we will head straight back into the kitchen. That sausage grinder is on the kitchen table, so I will go over to it and use the pliers to receive a warped key fob. Then, as I said, I will use the glove in the sink. Now I can get the hand out. We're going to take this warped key fob and we're going to head up to the attic, which I haven't been to, but I cleared the path with that the box and the shovel handle. Go up into the attic. We first want to circle around to the right for a folio item. In the toaster, of course, that is number 11 of 75, a burnt lab report. And if we circle around to the other side, there's a workbench. I can place this warped key fob right in the middle, pick up the mallet, use the mallet to make the key fob good and flat. And now I'm essentially done with this first chapter. All we have to do now is head back to that door that required the 3 keys back towards the beginning of the game. So I will exit the farmhouse and head over to the right. Here this sign is pointing me back to that mystery door. I will follow the path initially to this clearing that we will come through some point later in the game. Then I will come back to the second clearing where we encountered that desk initially. Now I have to make my way back through this corn maze, and having been through it several times at this point, it's really not much of a challenge. And here we are. This is the door in question. What's going to happen now is I'm going to use these 3 keys that I've got in the 3 slots here. Key fob, hand, and CD. This is going to trigger a cutscene. The game has a dozen or maybe even 2 dozen cutscenes, generally 30 seconds to 2 or 3 minutes each. I'm going to let this cutscene play out, and I will join you when it's done.
Hey! 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 You must answer a riddle before you're allowed to enter. A doctor and his son are in a car accident.
No, not that one. Say the one about the guy who hung himself with an ice block. You just gave that one away. Answer this one. What animal walks on 4 legs in the morning?
That one's boring. I'm riddle president today. I get to pick.
Oh,
yeah,
that's true. Why is he president every time? I've actually always been a bit unclear on the election.
Where's really hard with that? An empty bus pulls up to a stop and 10 people get on. At the next stop, 5 people get off, and twice as many people get on as at the first stop. At the third stop, 25 get off. So, which one of us is named Jim?
Am I Jim?
I thought he was Jim.
No, that's Bill. Where's Bill?
You're Bill.
Oh, that's right.
You may as well enter as we sort this all out. Let's hope you're better than the last one.
Oh, and watch out for our brother down there. He's a bit odd.
Okay, we now have control again. Now that we're in this elevator, right around here, the second achievement will pop for progression, and it is Weird Science. What I need to do in this elevator is wait for that counter to hit 0, push this blue button, a pellet appears, eat the pellet, that counter starts counting down again, and I need to do that 3 times in order to actually put the elevator in motion so we can progress. You'll see a couple of post-it notes on the wall here that I'm going to talk about. Basically, from this point forward, there's going to be dozens of these post-it notes throughout the game, and they basically are some comical banter between Bob and Ted. It's kind of laying out backstory between these 2 goofballs. I'm not really going to be visiting any of those post-it notes because I'm trying to keep the playthrough time to a minimum to ensure that we get the complete a game in under 2 hours achievement. But just know that they exist to sort of expand on the backstory and the wackiness of this game. Now we have one of many overly long loading screens. For some reason, the loading screens in this game generally take way longer than you think they would, and this first one is certainly no exception. So once this loading screen is over, we'll be on to the next chapter, and we will continue. Okay, here we are in a lobby. This is kind of a running gag in the game that there's all these lobbies that look a lot like this leading to various different areas. The first thing you want to do is come over and get this folio item on the chair on the right. That is number 12 of 75, a facility brochure. We're going to continue along. You see some sort of creature walk across in front of us. That's kind of the main bad guy of the game. We'll just ignore him and turn left. There will be a whole bunch of boxes stacked up over here. On this one, we'll pick up folio item 13 of 75. It's an invoice. We want to get the jumpsuit in the little room here, come into this security room, pick up the coat rack, and then get the folio item on the desk. It is folio item 14 of 75, a report, warfare readiness report. We're going to now head back into the hallway, go down towards the other end. There will be an opening on the left-hand side that leads us to a classroom of sorts, almost like a nursery or a young children's classroom. Over on the left by the barn, we're first going to pick up the children's block. That is folio item 15 of 75. We also want to pick up this teddy bear. And now we want to head out and back down through the hallway. And now there's going to be an opening on the right-hand side. It's going to lead through a hallway. This is sort of a workshop. We'll be back here in a little bit, but first we want to go take care of some business up ahead. This room is the communal grotto. This room is just kind of a circular room with a lot of junk. You want to grab this cheeseburger wrapper off of the couch. That's folio item 16 of 75. We'll head to this nearby path and into this room. A couple of corn guys talking. Folio item on the wall, number 17 of 75, a shift schedule. Folio item 18 of 75 on the desk. That is a misinterpreted memo. Head into the bathroom and pick up this Etch-a-Sketch, which the game calls a Sketcher 3000. And folio item number 19 of 75, an invoice for an opulent bathroom. We're going to backtrack to that communal grotto and head across into the other room. And a few items in this room. We're going to go behind the desk and pick up a military backpack. We're going to open a drawer in the desk and pick up a screwdriver. And then I'm going to point out this one folio item that was the last one I found. Do you see it? It's just off left of center there on the ground. It's very hard to see, and I must have walked past it dozens of times as I was pulling my hair out trying to find what for me was the 75th folio item. It is right here on the ground, an invoice for some commissioned paintings, number 20 of 75. We're going to head back through the communal grotto and back out to the main hallway that we came from. And we're going to use this screwdriver up on the wall down here at the end of the hallway. This is the side of the hallway that led us to that children's classroom. Over here there's going to be a blue X on the wall. We want to use the screwdriver on that panel to open it up. And inside there, we want to pick up the circuit board of RAM. Now we have everything we need to enter this workshop that we had passed, so I'll head back over to there. We're going to make a loop around the workshop. I'm going to start on the right-hand side and pick up folio item number 21 of 75, a tour guidebook. Then we need to pick up this Gripotron, an old computer, and then come around and there's a power switch or a power strip on the floor. You want to activate it. Put the old computer in place. Put the circuit board of RAM in the old computer and then pick it back up. Now we need to use 4 items here on the workbench. You need to use the old computer on the right. You need to use the Gripotron kind of in the upper left, the backpack in back, and the teddy bear in front. This will trigger a cutscene that will lead us to our third progression achievement, Build-A-Bear.
What? What are you looking at? Something on Vlad's face? Why you not talk? Do you understand? Understand what Vladdy is saying. Butso boy, you're a big idiot. How you survive by being stupid? Fine, Vladdy help. Ой, грай со миньой. Huh? What is this on Vlad's back? This makes no sense. All of this is very stupid. So, where we go?
Okay, now what we need to immediately do is turn around, and as we go to exit, it will prompt us or
We
trigger
need
another
you to
cutscene.
settle a debate on taking naps. Oh my god, what is that?
What is Plant saying?
Is that a... It is.
It's a helicopter!
What? Da?
Give me a ride, Mr. Helicopter.
No, give me a ride!
We can all fit, just climb in.
Moj luši drug, bud se moj, poigri so mnjoj. Čitanje veselo!
What a rude contraption!
What if you're just gonna be like that?
Oh, right. We completely forgot. We have a message for you.
It's very important.
You should hit the showers.
What's a shower?
I have no idea.
Vladdy does not like it here.
Okay, regaining control, the corn suggested we head to the showers, and so we will now head down to this far end of the hallway again. It's initially going to lead us into a gymnasium, or a gym. I guess it's not really a gymnasium. It's labeled as gymnasium. Anyway, we want to go straight back and pick up folio item number 22 of 75, a dumbbell. The next room is the locker room. On the right, in an open locker, is folio item number 23 of 75, a triumphant test report. Be sure to grab this headband before heading into the showers. On the floor on the right is folio item number 24 of 75, a nondescript rock. Then turn around and interact with this grating so we can now enter the ventilation shaft. We want to follow the red path. Branches that don't have a painted line going to them are to be that branch through them. We're interested in trying to get the complete the game in under 2 hours achievement. So I'll just stick to the red path. As I get to the end of the red path, it's going to trigger a cutscene, and what I will do is I will allow that cutscene to play out, and I will rejoin you when it's done.
Who has disturbed me? We are not amused that you have kept us waiting. Has our servant informed you of your task? No, of course not. Imbecile. No matter. One must do things themselves if one would like it done right. Feels like we have been trapped here for an age. Our cowardly captors saw to that, by stopping the righteous light from bathing us in its glory. Of course, we would not expect one such as yourself to understand. But perhaps you are different from the rest. Dare we let ourselves hope that we have finally found our champion? No, likely not. But we would be remiss if we did not at least let you attempt to do something of value. So, we bequeath to you your tasks. Restore energy to this wretched place once again, and raise the rings. Only then will you be worthy of consideration.
Okay, I'm back in control. It says a new path is opened up to you, and to head to the West Hook checkpoint. This is a door that was previously blocked kind of over by where all those boxes were stacked that I found a folio item, and then where I found the jumpsuit. So we're going to head back there, but we have one order of business first. I need to take this Etch-a-Sketch, and I need to head back to that lobby room where we started the chapter, and I need to interact with a painting on the wall to draw a face onto this Etch-a-Sketch. And essentially what we're looking to do is we're looking to build a humanoid object with the coat rack and the jumpsuit and the headband, and then the Etch-a-Sketch with the face on it, because we need to trick a security camera to opening up a door for us. Once you get to the end here, you do need to interact with that grating in order to get out of the ventilation. So now through the locker room, through the gym, and down the hall. We're going to head left down the first hallway we come to, which is the leading us back to the room we started in. And on our right will be a painting that I will interact with, and it will draw a face on the Sketcher 3000. That is done. Now it is called a horribly sketched face. So now I can come over here. This is the door that is now open per the directions on the screen after talking to the Queen, the door down to the West Hook checkpoint. So we'll come down these stairs. At the bottom there's going to be a computer console. If I go to interact with it, my cursor will turn into like a bear's face. That means we're going to have Vladdy do something. There you see it. Now Vladdy will interact with that console. He will complain about it and insist nothing's going to happen, but of course something will. I need to trick that security camera, so once he builds this little structure right in front of it.
Stupid thing will never work. It is... Huh?
So now I can put the coat rack, the face, the headband, the jumpsuit, and now press the button,
Be joking. That never worked.
and bingo.
Well, that was
Now we
real
will get
stupid.
the 4th progression achievement, Budget Security, and continue on. I'll interact with this wheel to open the door. Okay, in here we want to take this first little opening and take some steps up. I think it's about, I don't know, 5 flights of steps. This is going to take me to the room Sub-01. This is a big open room. It looks like almost a cave with some water. And the first thing you want to do is come over to the workbench and pick up this little key. It's a small key. Take it over to the right side of the room. We're going to pick up 2 folio items. The first of which is 25 of 75, a loading skid. 26 of 75 on the floor, a submarine assembly manual. Then we can interact with this toolbox and pick up the hammer and the box cutter from inside. Heading back over towards the other side of the room, on this shelving we will find a pipe. That's folio item number 27 of 75, the water pipe. And then this paper on the ground is folio item 28 of 75, a design for a loading crane. Now in the back on this other side there will be a box that we can open with the box cutter. Inside there I will take this Fabergé egg, bring it over to the workbench. There will be a spot for it. Place the egg, hit it with the hammer. Now I have a priceless lockpick. Use this priceless lockpick over here on the cello case, and that reveals a nuclear fuel rod. Picking up that fuel rod will pop progression achievement number 5, unsafe procedure. And now I need to come interact with this loose grate so Vladdy can open the door to this room which closed behind us. And I will pick up once the cutscene ends.
Stupid idiot, making Vladdy crawl through dumb thing. What is Vladdy supposed to do in here? Stupid. Stupid wires everywhere. Why is this stupid? Oh! Why is this stupid thing upside down? Makes no sense. How stupid are these idiots? Maybe if Vladdy gets... Vladdy has to... do this dumb... Boy, играй so mignon! Hey, idiot! Did that work? Stop being stupid and say something! Fine, Vladdy done anyway. Твой мой лучший друг, stupid idiot. Could get nowhere without Vladdy. Vladdy has to do everything. So, now what?
Okay, back in control. The big door is open. We can exit this area, head back down to the main hallway. And we will simply head across to the next little opening that has a similarly colored lighting, this bluish purple. We will head in here. This is going to take us through another lobby. In this lobby over on the right hand side we want to pick up folio item number 29 of 75, a flyer for a local pool company. In this next room immediately on the right, the coffee maker is folio item number 30 of 75. On this chair, folio item number 31 of 75, a lobby design brochure. In here on this control panel on the right, folio item number 32 of 75, a book of nuclear reactor maintenance guidelines. Exit this room to the left. Vladdy will tell us that he is not coming with us. Head all the way down the stairs and interact with the button to open the door. In this next room, we have basically to make our way to the end of a maze and back in 1 minute and 20 seconds. It should only take you about a minute if you know what you're doing. It's really not complicated at all. You can see the minute 20 up in the upper right there. I'm going to activate this button. That's going to start the timer. This maze, like the corn maze in the beginning, is mostly linear. There are a couple of dead-end paths, but really, it's really not very long or complicated. I've been through it a dozen or more times at this point, so I know exactly where I'm going. But our goal is to make our way through this maze, to put this fuel rod into a bucket or a receptacle of some sort, and then make our way back to the button I pushed to initiate this whole sequence. And like I said, you have to do it in less than a minute 20 seconds, or 2 minutes, 120 seconds. So the fuel rod is in the containment canister, and now I will head back through this maze. As long as you don't dilly-dally, even if you go the wrong way a bunch of times, you should still have plenty of time to make it back. And I can only assume that if you don't make it in time, all that will happen is it will send you back to an earlier checkpoint in the game, but you really want to avoid that. So once you get back to the beginning, push the button. I did it in, what, 59 seconds, so about a minute. So now I will head back up to the top, and back in that sort of control room, there is a switch I can now flip. Now, according to the achievement descriptions, this should unlock our 6th progression achievement, Flipped the Switch, but that achievement doesn't seem to pop there. For whatever reason, that achievement will pop in along with the next achievement we get, which is a little ways ahead, so don't panic that you didn't get that achievement there, and unless something gets changed in the game, it will continue to pop for everybody along with the next progression achievement. Out into this hallway, we want to turn right and make our way up the slope. There will be a room up here on the left that we can now enter now that we've got the reactor back on. Some corn guys kind of talking here, we can ignore them. So I'll interact with this wheel to open this door to this room. And then the first thing I'm going to do here is head over to the left-hand side for a folio item on the ground. Number 33 of 75, the unstable rock. Then I will head back to the other side of the room. I will initiate a cutscene by interacting with this grate, and Vladdy needs to go in there and find an item for me.
What is Vladdy doing here? Is this Vladdy's purpose? Crawling and climbing through stupid junk to get more stupid junk? And for what? This stupid garbage? This is useless. No use, no purpose, just more garbage. Garbage for idiots. Always. Garbage. Hope this garbage worth Vladdy's suffering, but I already know the answer. No, because it's garbage. What stupid thing is next?
Okay, we now have control again, and we can pick up this item Vladdy dug out for us. It is a control panel of sorts. Put that over here in the slot and press the start button for a cutscene that will raise the first hook.
So, this is what stupid thing does? Vladdy still think it garbage.
Okay, now I need to pick up this door wheel and head to the other end of the hallway. And we will be able to use this door wheel to open another door at the other end of the area. Then we will open this door, and we'll enter this room, and it's similar to the other room we were in, except this time we can go right up and push the button, and this will trigger a cutscene as it raises the second hook.
That does not sound good. Chitanya Vesilo, why is this place so stupid? Nothing works. Idiot American machines. Well done, idiot. Breaking it will help. Stupid. You should take that dumb piece, see if you can fix it.
Okay, now we need to pick up this broken piece. It is a broken gear half. And now we need to backtrack to Communal Grotto and down to level 2. So as we're backtracking, we'll see some orange boxes preventing us from going forward because the game wants to tell us there's nothing for us to do over there. So we'll backtrack through here, past this security checkpoint, and up into the section that we were in previously. And then what we need to do is head across this hallway, down this hall. This will lead us to the Communal Grotto. And this hallway to level 2 is now no longer blocked. So we'll head through the door, should trigger a loading screen, and we'll simply wait this out, and then we can start the next chapter. Okay, back in control. We want to start by heading straight ahead. This should lead us into another lobby. In here, we of course want to look on the right-hand side. Folio item 34 of 75 is the Completely Lazy Mystery Novel. You want to make a sharp right in this hallway into this next room and pick up the water cooler. Around the front of the desk, you want to pick up the red marker. And then folio item number 35, outline for facility theme, or for the outline. For facility, theme park, and casino. Continue ahead and make a sharp left into this cafeteria. All that's interesting or important in here is to pick up the plastic plant. Back out. We want to turn left. On these boxes on the left will be folio item 36 of 75, a workplace readiness report. On the ground, folio item 37 of 75, a rocky rock. Come back around here and pick up this item. That is a sturdy box. Head around the scaffolding and down into the room below. In this room, we're going to immediately look on the right into this cabinet to pick up folio item 38 of 75, a master plan. There are 2 folio items on this desk. One on the right is a book. The 1 second assistant, 39 of 75. 40 of 75 on the other side of the desk, a daily planner. And then we need to pick up the medicine ball in the toilet. With all of these items collected, we could head back upstairs and go off to the left into a bedroom. As soon as you enter this bedroom, you want to pick up the gardening shears at the base of the bed. And then start by placing the ball on the workbench. Use the red marker on the ball to make a face and pick it up. Place the plastic plant. Use the pruning shears and now pick up the trimmed plant. Over on the right side of the bed, there is an end table with a folio item, number 41 of 75, Bob's Journal. Over by the TV, there are 2 folio items. 42 of 75 is a box of monkey treats. 43 of 75 is a chart. Directly behind you now on the floor, folio item 44 of 75 is an invoice for a large amount of statues. This bathroom has nothing of interest, so we will exit. We now have the 4 items we need in order to trick the security camera. So we will make our way over to this console and start placing these items, the ball, the plant, the crate, and the water cooler. Press the button on the console. The door opens. I will enter this room and it will trigger a cutscene, and I will rejoin you when it's over.
Does not sound good.
Aha! I finally found you! You've fallen into my clutches, just like all the others. I must say, I'm quite disappointed. I thought you were more clever, more interesting. But no matter. Now, your suffering will be so incomprehensible that your small mind will break!
Stupid plant, why is your face like that?
But what is that?
Your stupid face is very bad. Dumb plant. Is that on purpose?
Shut up, you mean furry stupid! How dare you! I am the pinnacle of my race! You will pay for this insult. Let me just... Ow!
What's up, boy?
Biting! Chief! Biting is cheating. I win by default. Ha 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 ha! Your plans have been foiled by my plans, which are better than yours, you dummy! Ha 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 ha! and I am most certainly not retreating. Ha 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 ha!
You know, this place is filled with idiots.
Okay, now that the cutscene has ended, 2 achievements should pop for you here. Both are progression achievements. The one that is meant to occur at the end of that cutscene is Fight, Fight, Fight. That is the 7th progression achievement. But for some reason, the 6th progression achievement, Flip the Switch, also will pop right here. So now that we're up to date on that, head over to the right side of this room and pick up the Jar of Ranka. The unicorn candle holder is folio item 45 of 75. Then come over to the left side of the room, and there are 3 folio items on this desk. Ted's journal is 46 of 75. The concerned lab report is 47 of 75, and the old newspaper clipping is 48 of 75. We need to now take this jar of Ranka and head back to the little room below the scaffolding, and in the back left corner will be what they call a coffee trolley. Add the Ranka to the coffee trolley and it will clear a path for us. You need to crouch down to enter this little tunnel. And then as we make our way to the end of this tunnel, we will find a folio item, 49 of 75, the script. Entering the kitchen, immediately on the left, pick up this bag of garbage, folio item 50 of 75. Make sure now that you do have 50 of 75. And pick up the ladder on your right. Pick up the popcorn ad on the cooler, pick up the craft glue, open the door, and we are now done in this section. So we can head out of the cafeteria, turn right, and make our way back up to the communal grotto, and eventually make our way back up to the room where the machine broke and popped out that piece of gear that was broken. Once I reach the end of this hallway, I will have to interact with this door to have Vladdy open it for me, and it should trigger a loading screen, and I will rejoin you once that loading screen finishes.
Vladdy not even sure what to fix. Is Vladdy supposed to hit stupid American garbage built by idiots?
Okay, now that I'm back in control, I will head into the communal grotto and back through the hallway on my left. We need to head back to that room that I had mentioned, so we'll go across the hallway, down these stairs. We'll go past the security camera diversion. Going to go out into the hallway, and once we reach this sewerish hallway, we're going to turn left and head up to the end. The step ladder is what will allow me to progress beyond this room, and we didn't have it before, so we couldn't go any further. So in this room, you want to go over to the left-hand side. You'll see a pathway. Follow it around to the end. You will see a place to put the step ladder. Once we put it in place, we can step up onto it and interact with the ladder. And after this loading screen, we will start the next section. Okay, we are back above ground and we have control again, so what I'm going to do is make my way through this little path in the corn. I will ignore this first opening that leads to some sort of control valve. We'll be back for that momentarily. We'll ignore the second path. That's going to lead to a pool. We'll be back there shortly as well. Follow the path straight ahead to the end. You'll see a greenhouse of sorts. Let's go in the greenhouse. On the left, you'll see folio item number 51 of 75, a security report. On the right-hand side, there's a wrench. Go ahead and pick that up. Pizza flyer in the back of the room, folio item 52 of 75. And this chair is folio item 53 of 75. Go ahead around the side of the building, and then to the back, and we need to pick up a fuel can, fuel jug, and then we need to pick up this rusty wheel. That is folio item 54 of 75. And now we need to head back to that red piping I had pointed out, that runoff control. We will use the wrench on that, and that will drain a pool. So now head down the middle path. This pool was full of some sort of chemical. We couldn't have gone into it previously, but now that it's been drained, we can drop right into it and pick up this key, the toolbox key. There are 2 folio items around the pool. One is next to the diving board. A life preserver, 55 of 75. And then there is a rock over here, kind of hard to see, easy to miss. That is folio item 56 of 75, a questionable rock. Follow along this path, and that will lead us to the tractor that I had mentioned much earlier in the game towards the beginning. We are not ready to interact with it yet. We still need to get one more item. So I'll follow this path along, and here is the barn from the beginning of the game. We're going to head around to the left and to the back of the barn towards a silo, and we're actually going to head off to the left fork here out to that clearing where that conduit type item was, and on the right hand side of it there's a red toolbox that this key will open. Inside that toolbox is everybody's favorite all-purpose multi-use item, WT-40. Now that I have the WT-40, we can head back to the tractor, and we will need to use the WT-40 and the fuel jug on the tractor, and that will then allow us to interact with the tractor seat, which will put Vladdy on the tractor and in control of the tractor, and that will trigger a cutscene, and I will rejoin you once that cutscene is over.
Yes, of course. Vladdy should drive this stupid thing. Makes most sense. Large chance for pain and suffering. Idiot. Lutso boy, stupid idiot. Vladdy do everything. Always Vladdy. Hey! How does Vladdy start this stupid thing? Like this? Oh, okay. Stupid thing. It's not so bad. Ah! Go, stupid thing, go! Ha ha! This is good, this is... Uh-oh. I cheat on you, vSully. Everything under control. Boy, Lucy drug. Stupid thing! Go that way! Oh, that way!
So that's what it does. Well, that didn't go well.
No, not at all.
Okay, now that I'm back in control and a new path has been smashed open for us, you should see progression achievement number 8 unlock right now, the tractor incident. We'll continue along down the path that Vladdy created for us towards the farmhouse. And what we will find is that Vladdy has crashed the tractor and been launched into a rose bush. And I will need to interact with him to pull him out of the rose bush. That's going to trigger another cutscene that's about a minute long, and I will join you when that cutscene is over.
Ah! Tu é moi Lucy drug. Vladdy thought this place had no purpose, but that was wrong. It does. It is to destroy Vladdy. Everything here was made to make Vladdy suffer, and you are worst of all.
You killed my uncle! You killed my uncle! I'm right here. Oh, that's right.
We're not helping you anymore. You're mean.
Because of the whole running a lot of us over business. You could have asked first.
And nicely.
Jerk.
There is absolutely nothing that will make us change our mind.
Nothing at all. Nope. Unless you played that song we really like.
Oh, yes.
At our favourite spot. That could work.
But nothing else.
Idiot plants. You go. Vladdy fixed this stupid thing. You get stupid plants out of the way.
Okay, back in control, and everything is pretty much blocked off to us except for one path. So what we'll do is kind of follow around the farmhouse and out towards the statue. We were out here much earlier on in the game, and this path out to the windmill was blocked initially, but it is open now. And there's going to be 3 items we need to pick up out here by the windmill, the first of which is a boombox. Second item around to the left on this wood plank is the other half of the broken gear. No idea how that ended up out here. The third item at the end of the plank is folio item 57 of 75, and that is a discarded letter. We need to now head down this path. It's going to lead us to a clearing. There will be a stump where we can place this boombox, and this will trigger a very brief cutscene, and after that we'll be able to progress. Essentially what's happening here is Vladdy has gotten the tractor running again, and he is going to clear a path for us, and what we're after is that acetylene tank that he's dragging behind the tractor. That path that he's going down and that those corn guys are going down leads back to where we started the game, and essentially when we first started, I didn't look around, I just kind of moved forward as any normal person would, but behind us was a fence and a stream, or a river, and that's where we're headed. Vladdy will have broken down that fence, and we can now get to the river. And remember, we're going back into the corn maze here. You've been through it several times by now. Maybe a couple at least. Hopefully you can kind of find your way through it pretty quickly at this point. There's that door that we unlocked at the end of the first chapter. You can see the sign pointing us to water. Somehow Vladdy came down this path with the tractor. Was able to steer it through all the twists and turns. I'm not really sure how that worked, but whatever. And getting closer. Here we go. Here is where we first started, kind of right here, facing the other direction, but this fence has now been broken by Vladdy. All I need to do is interact with this acetylene tank for a short cutscene. And then after that cutscene, I'm simply going to turn and walk onto that little boat to trigger another cutscene and then a loading screen. And then I will rejoin you once the next chapter loads up.
For Vladdy, and you push the stupid thing into the water? Why you never say anything, idiot? You know, it's a miracle that Vladdy did this. Vladdy had no idea what he was doing. Vladdy not mechanic. Vladdy could barely reach pedals. All for what? We should see where that stupid floating thing end up. Probably in place with all the water, because of course it would, because everything hates Vladdy!
Okay. I said I'd rejoin you, but I'm going to just mention that I am turning and walking onto the boat. So after this loading screen, we'll pick up, and I will rejoin you then. Okay, we are now back in this Sub-Zero 1 room that we were in much earlier. What I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to use this control panel to control the crane on the ceiling, have it pick up this acetylene tank, and drop it over by the workbench. The problem is there are 2 control panels. I need to essentially disable the second one because once I start using one, that corn bad guy will drop out and basically prevent me from using it. The way we do that is we put glue and then the framed popcorn ad on that console, and now he can't interfere with us. So I will come back, and when I interact with this, I now control that crane. The little dangling arm I want to push up to move it down. Up and down are reversed, left and right are normal. And I need to weave it around to that upper left green light. And then after I get it there, I can press the action button to pick up the acetylene tank, and then I can move it around to that green light over on the center right, where I will then drop the tank by the workbench. Okay, now that it's in a position, I can press the A button. It'll drop down and pick up that tank. And then I can start moving it back and around over to that green light over on the right. The one mistake you could make here is you want to push down to move the crane up in this next thing, as to not have to retrace your step down and back up. That'll save you about 8 seconds. That shouldn't really be that big of a deal, but... Anyway, so now as it's approaching the end of the track, once it gets close, I can press A, it'll drop the tank. I can press B then to leave the console and run over to interact with the tank. Then what I need to do is put these 2 pieces of gear on the workbench, and then interact with the blowtorch. That will repair the gear. Now I need to pick up the repaired gear, and then I need to turn around and interact with the grate on the wall so that Vladdy can once again open the door to this room, and I will rejoin you after this cutscene.
If I spay on Pisnio, stupid idiot makes Vladdy do everything. Crawling through. Ah! Oh! Idiot should be crawling through stupid. Ah! Oh! Stupid virus suffering all this. Oh! Ah! What's up, boy? Tanya Veselu, you damn lublu! Vladdy had enough! You stupid, dumb, idiot American garbage! You... Of course that worked! Because this is the stupidest, dumbest place there is! And idiot just stands there looking even more stupid! Now what we do? Stupid.
Okay, back in control. We need to now run back to the room where the machinery broke the gear to begin with. And that's start by going down all these steps. That will lead us to that hallway. And then from here we need to turn right, I believe. Yes, we want to turn right and go up this sloped path. Once we get into the room with the machinery, on the right-hand side of the control console will be a place to put this gear. Simply put it into place. Click the button. This will trigger a cutscene, and I will rejoin you after this cutscene.
Great! We did it. Why did we do this? Oh no, what now?
Hello.
Good to see you.
You did a very good job.
Yes, very good. What did you do again?
Press the button.
Wowee. Yes, that's very nice.
We're supposed to send you a message.
That's right. Yes, it's very important. What was it again?
Do not free our queen.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Was it do free our queen?
Probably. One or the other.
Whatever the message was, that button pressing was very impressive.
Oh, yes. Very.
Oh, right, we should probably go.
Yes, that would make sense. So what do we do now?
Something productive.
Another nap?
Yes!
That's the most productive thing I can think of.
Vladdy do not know what worse. Idiot plants? The stupid, ugly idiot plant? Or you? No, Vladdy no. It is you. Idiot.
And now that we have raised both hooks, that should satisfy progression achievement number 9, High in the Sky. We'll turn to the right and enter this little capsule. Press the button and initiate another unreasonably long loading screen. This connector will take us to what is Chapter 7. And this next section is, I would say, maybe the longest and most complicated. There's a lot of folio items. I think there's 15 to be found. And several different rooms, a whole bunch of different items to interact with. And if this loading screen ever ends, we will get started. Okay, now that I have control, I take a couple of steps forward and look at that. A cutscene. This one's only going to be a few seconds long as Vladdy drops in behind us. Poor little fella.
This place is so stupid.
Okay, first thing we want to do is turn to the left and pick up this folio item under the chair. 58 of 75, that's the VAT room blueprint. We want to head out, turn to the right, interact with the console, and that will have Vladdy pull out a coffee trolley. Now make our way around. We don't have a key to this first door, so continue along. There will be a hallway on the right. Go down this hallway and enter the room on the left. We've got several things to do in here. First thing is on the right, there is a biolab key. Follow the counter around for folio item 59 of 75, a whimsical rock. And then over on the left side is a half-full vial. Take that to the end of this counter to a centrifuge. Put it inside. We'll come back for that later. Now on your right is a old carpet, folio item 60 of 75. Folio item 61 of 75 in the corner of the whiteboard. That is a notification for a government audit. Just above that folio item to the left of the post-it notes is a piece of tape. It's easy to miss. Pick that up and bring it with you. What we want to do now is exit this hallway and head back to that locked room, the biolab. Use the key in the little key slot. As soon as we enter this room, turn around and press the button to call the coffee trolley. Continue through the room into the next little room and pick up folio item number 62 of 75, a recording schedule. Into the next room, folio item 63 of 75, song lyrics. On the chair, glitter and rhinestones. Into the recording room, you need to pick up the guitar stand. Go around to the back of the drums and pick up the tom-tom drum. Then use the tape on the keyboard to get a fingerprint. And then pick up folio item number 64 of 75, the speaker. Head back out into the control room. And on the right-hand side, there will be a fingerprint scanner. Use the tape on that. That will make this button usable in the middle of the console. When you press that, it's going to open up and give us a CD. That CD is essentially a key to a locked room. So, out of here, follow the trolley path, quickly dip back into the room with the centrifuge, push the button on the wall to call the coffee trolley, and then continue along. Down into a hallway where we haven't been yet, there will be the lock on the door that you can interact with. That is opened by using the CD in that key slot. This is the maze activation chamber. As soon as you enter, pick up folio item number 65 of 75 from the cart. That's an invoice for an astronomical purchase. In the room on the right, there will be two items you need to pick up. There's a fancy hat and a large Fabergé egg. Come back out to the workbench and place the Fabergé egg. Interact with the top hat and then the glitter and rhinestones. Pick that item back up and head out, but before you do, press the button to call the coffee trolley. We're going to assemble a humanoid object out here to try to once again fool a security camera to let us in. So once the trolley's here, we can place the guitar stand, the bedazzled face, and the tom-tom drum, and then press the button on the console. It is attempting to scan, but what we want to first do is walk back into this other room, and you will see a scaffolding kind of lower down. What we need to do is head up onto that newly accessible area, follow it around. Two items we need to grab here. We need to grab the other half of a diagram, that is folio item 66 of 75. And then a little bit further along in the little opening, there is an inactive key fob. That is the item we need to take back to the centrifuge. So, backtrack out of this room, follow the trolley path, and down this hallway into the room with the centrifuge, and then place this key fob in the centrifuge, and then activate it. It's going to do what it does for a few seconds, and then it will open back up, and that has now created for us Helen's key. Pick that up, out of this room, back to the main hallway, turn right, down this hallway on the left that we haven't been to yet, use Helen's key to unlock Helen's room. Go right in and pick up the other jar of Ranka. Turn right. There will be folio item number 67 of 75 under a pillow, Helen's journal. Come around to the back of the desk. Folio item 68 of 75, a draft letter to the government. Then head back to the coffee trolley and use the jar of Ranka on it. It will kind of go haywire and smash the door. That will unlock progression achievement number 10, Trolley Folly. Enter this room on the left, pick up folio item 69 of 75, a notice on an isolated subject, and then come interact with the grating on the wall to initiate a cutscene.
Always go. Oi, Graysomin, you stupid idiot. What is this stupid thing? This place is one big joke. Well, Vlad is not laughing. Devai spay on Pesnio. What is stupid giant crank doing here? Pointless. Vladi has to do everything. Stupid American garbage. Chitania Veselo. What? Is that it? Ding? That means nothing. This whole place makes no sense.
Ha! I've got you now!
Oh, good. Idiot planted ugly face is here again.
Oh! You cretin! I will make you pay for your continued insolence!
How will dumb ugly plant do that?
By...
So boy, boy, Graysomin, look.
Ow! Wait, why are you always biting? Why are these plants always so difficult? Ow!
Stupid idiot plant!
Well, that was very rude.
Yes, quite. What an odd duck he is. He doesn't need that coat. It's just for show.
Oh, I know.
Wonder where he went.
Probably his favourite place, that punishments room.
Oh, yes. So tacky.
If you want your stupid, mean pet back, you'll have to come and get it. I've taken it to be punished.
Definitely the punishments room.
Yes, definitely. Someone should probably help that strange little helicopter thing.
Shall we go take a nap?
Oh, yes. You read my mind.
After that, we'll take another nap.
What a great idea.
Okay, back in control, the first thing you want to do is pick up this coin and the shaft, and then turn around and head back into this room, the maze activation chamber. Turn to the left into a now open room. This, you may remember, is where the queen was when we interacted with her via a cutscene back towards the beginning of the game. On this desk, you want to pick up the contingency plan. That is folio item 70 of 75. Head out and straight across. We can use this coin and this little tube machine, whatever it is. That'll open the door. Step in and press the button. No loading screen here. It's pretty seamless as this lowers us down to a level below. Step out and follow the hallway around into another room. Don't step into that light yet, although you could get these two folio items afterwards, but we'll grab them before we do. 71 on the right, a album cover, and then back on the other table on the right-hand side is folio item 72 of 75, a fully unnecessary mystery novel. When I step into this light, it's going to trigger a cutscene that is about 2 or 3 minutes long, so I will let this play out, and I will rejoin you when it's over.
Looking for your pet? Don't wait! You have fallen right into my trap! It will cause you unbearable suffering.
It's not so bad.
Shut up! But you won't be suffering alone. Say hello to your partners. Well, go on, say hello. Don't keep it waiting, you cretins. That would be extremely rude. Welcome, brother.
Did you break the big ring? That's why I'm here. I locked myself in a closet and couldn't get out.
I stared at a wall for 63 days.
It's really not that bad here, brother, aside from the non-stop dancing and spiral into insanity.
I didn't do anything wrong. I just love dancing.
If your feeble mind could comprehend such things, you might be thinking, why do these freaks keep calling me brother? Why, oh why, do I feel some kind of kinship with them? Why am I such a dumb, stupid thing? Well, I can't answer that last one, but if you'll kindly stand still, I have something truly wonderful to show you. Yes, yes! You are one of them! One more in a long line of misguided failures on whom our beloved queen continues to waste my time.
We're right here.
Yeah! Words hurt! Shut up! You stupid! Is it no wonder that I suffer so surrounded by cretins and imbeciles and more stupids on all sides? I should be the one leading our people to glory, to the vengeance we deserve against those fleshy demons that imprisoned us. Not any of you, and not that red-faced harpy. Ooh, That's a good one. Must remember that.
It's not that good.
Quiet! Now that you are finally aware of your true nature, your glorious eternal suffering awaits. You are an absolute failure like the rest, and will remain here dancing for all time! Ha ha!
I disagree.
It's our queen.
She is free!
She has returned. Who is that? Does she dance?
It completed its tasks, did it not? It succeeded where the rest had failed, did it not?
Is it true?
Brother, is it
Why
so?
have we stopped dancing?
It barely succeeded, Your Grace, and should not be worthy of the honor
It
of...
has earned its place on our journey. It is our champion.
But, Your Majesty...
Silence! Yet again, your incompetence becomes a burden on us. Yet again, we must wonder why it is that we tolerate your servitude. Need I remind you of the consequences? Need I remind you of your last penance?
Oh, she's talking about the room, isn't she?
Oh, the terrifying one with all the pictures of Professor Poppycorn the Devourer.
Yes.
I like that room.
No, Highness. Anything but that.
Then release it and its companion, and get out of our sight.
Yes, Your Majesty. You and your thing are free to leave.
Join us at our seat of power, with haste.
Our tormentor is gone!
So is our queen.
Does that mean we can leave?
Let's dance!
Yeah!
Yeah! Dancing!
That was very stupid.
Okay, back in control. What I'm going to do is turn around and enter this little chamber behind me with a lift. And this is going to start bringing me up to the surface. And this loading screen literally takes a minute, if not two. The first time through the game I thought it was frozen, but I just let it go. And yeah, it eventually got through. And I've been through it a few times now. And yeah, you just got to wait it out. Like I said, it's going to take at least a minute, which I think it's more like 2 minutes. But I will rejoin you once this loading screen ends and we are back in control. Okay, we made it. As soon as you take a few steps forward, it's going to trigger a cutscene. This is a short one with Vladdy. After this, we're going to make our way around to a wooden barn-like structure. We need the last 3 folio items for that achievement, and the first one will be a rock on the ground outside. And then we are going to have another cutscene with the Queen that is probably 2, if not 3 minutes long. And then once we have control inside that barn, we can pick up 2 usable items and the last 2 folio items.
Let's go see what stupid plant wants.
So here we go. There is that barn. And around the front of the barn, you will see the rock right in plain view. I will pick that up. There we go, 73 of 75, only 2 to go, and they are in the barn. So like I said, I'll walk in, trigger the cutscene, I'll let it play out, and I will rejoin you when it's over.
Faith in you. Thanks to you, our journey is nearly at hand. kneel before us. I dub thee our knight,
Well done.
our protector,
Good job.
our champion.
I'm getting a bit sore.
Subjects, let us make our final preparations.
Absolutely, Your Grace.
In fact, we've already begun.
What? What do you mean?
We ordered pizza.
Yeah. We were famished.
How did you...
That phone right there.
The man was very helpful and a bit confused.
Oh, no.
Attention, attention. Redacted installation. Respond.
Do you think they added the extra pepperoni?
Attention, attention. Redacted installation. Respond.
I'm just hoping they sprinkled some old books on top. I like those.
No, that costs extra.
Anything? No, sir. No response. What in the goddamn hell? Didn't we blow that place up years ago? Apparently not, sir. Well, how about we do a job then? Full drone strike. Wipe that dead-gum place off the map. Yes, sir. Why is that blinking light still on? Turn it off! Turning off, sir.
Stupid American cowboys.
I hope they didn't put any pineapple on it.
Our influence has waned through our age of imprisonment. Our subjects never acted so when we were free to guide them. We feared this day would come. And come it has. Our day of reckoning. The day our captors would return to end us. And we were so close. So close to starting our journey.
Why not blow up stupid American cowboys first?
What are you proposing?
That stupid thing outside, with the dead man.
The Life Giver.
Buddy knows these things. It could work.
Yes. Yes, it could. It is a fitting choice. It gave us life and defeated our sworn adversary. Now it will be our ultimate salvation. But how do we attract our enemy's attention?
We could dance.
Really? I understand we can be a little silly at times, but seriously, this is out of the question.
So, what? Vladdy like to dance. Is that so stupid?
No, it is not. Dance we shall. I did not think you were concerned with our plight.
Vladdy thinks idiot plans not so bad, and he does not like being pushed around by stupid American cowboys.
What a nice helicopter.
Yes, very polite. Even if it never gave us a ride.
Tabia Lublo!
Oh, I love you too.
Focus, subjects. Focus. To our most trusted charges, we ask you to assist our champion and the little one. The rest of our subjects join me in preparing for our journey. Our final test is at hand. Some of you may not survive. In fact, a great deal of you will likely perish. But know that your sacrifices today will mark a new era for our people as we defend our adopted home and finally make way to the promised land. Subjects, onward! Champion, it is to you now. This is what you were meant for. Protect us. Save us.
A fine speech.
What was the first part she said about perishing?
I don't remember.
Neither do I.
Come on, idiot straw friend. Do not be stupid. We have work to do.
Okay, back in control. So immediately turn to the left and pick up this military radio. Then head up onto the stage. On the left-hand side is the one of two remaining folios. That is number 74 of 75, a guide to British accents. And then over under the tree on the right, we have the final folio item. That is number 75 of 75, a kind letter. And with that collected, the garbage collector achievement will unlock. Turn to the right, pick up the boombox, and now let's head out of the barn and back to an area we've been to a few times. It is kind of an open area with a conduit in the middle. And we're going to place these two radios, the boombox and the military radio, and it's going to trigger initially a kind of cutscene, but then it's an interactive rhythm type game, kind of like a Dance Dance Revolution, very basic and simple. So once I place these two items, we'll see. I will explain what's happening.
Come, stupid idiot.
Vladdy is going to instruct us to dance, and you will see the screen change. You'll see some colored triangles flowing from bottom to top. Once they reach the appropriate triangle on the top, I will use the D-pad to match up the direction, up, down, left, and right. And as you have a very wide timing window here, as long as it's kind of anywhere near overlapping the triangle on the top, as long as you push the appropriate direction, you'll get credit. You can see like a flashing bar filled up on the left-hand side. I believe that is the, if you mess up too much, you will fail meter. It's very hard to mess this up. It never really goes any faster than this. So simply push the correct direction as the colored triangle reaches the top, and we need to go through another minute or two of this, maybe like 4 or 5 more sequences, and after that we will continue on with the story. I will rejoin with commentary once this ends and the control picks up again naturally.
It's working! Keep going!
We're dancing out here.
Yeah! I love dancing so much!
Sir? What? Request permission to divert course to a new threat. What new threat? It's the corn, sir. They're, not really sure how to explain. We'll use your words, dumbass, and try. They appear to be dancing, sir. What in the goddamn hell? Scarecrows are dancing too, sir. Appears to be early 80s style. A small bear is with them. Just shut up! If there's anything I hate more than abominations of science, it's dancing abominations of science. Divert course, dumbass. I wipe these freaks out. Yes, sir.
Go! Dance, stupid idiot! Dance!
By my calculation, it's a sticky situation, keeping top secret. But babe, we can experiment and keep it from the government. We're top secret. Maybe we can action on this chemical reaction.
For the dumbass right in the middle. Target painted.
So boy, come on, stupid thing! Work! Oh, good!
Launching missiles in 5.
Yes, come, you stupid cowboys!
What's that about missiles?
3.
Who cares? This jam is the jam!
Dancing!
The dancing is mesmerizing.
Okay, and with that, progression achievement number 11 will unlock the power of dance, and we will run ahead. We're going to find Vladdy up here. He didn't fare so well with that drone strike, unfortunately. So we'll have a brief cutscene and kind of see what happened with him.
Great. It is the idiot. You did good, comrade. Vladdy think you not so stupid.
It really was a nice little helicopter.
Yes.
He really was. Did you want to take a nap?
Oh, yes!
It's what that helicopter would have wanted, probably.
Okay, and we are almost at the end of the game now. A couple things left to do. We're going to follow along to the silo and interact with the queen automatically as we approach her. This will start a brief cutscene. Essentially what's going to happen now is we will be interrupted by that bad guy riding a drone, and the cutscene will continue briefly. It will end. I will regain control of my character. My cursor will be right on the bad guy, and I will quickly need to press A, and that will throw that English muffin that I've been carrying since the beginning of the game at him, and the cutscene will complete from there.
Something's standing on it, sir.
You all must die! Well,
ride one?
Well, it's no helicopter.
You dare defy...
All of you! Cease and desist! Cease and desist! Get the hell off my drone, you corn on a cob! I have had it with you! Your idiotic experiments, your pathetic plans to run off like a coward! I will eat you for a midnight snack! None of you are worthy of the gift you have been given. None! You're all stupid! All of you! And when I'm done with you, you misguided freaks of nature, I will end your tyrannical reign and establish a new order!
And what's going to happen is these little corn guys are going to say they need a nap, and right after that you need to be ready to act.
Shouldn't we do something?
I would like to see how this plays out. Also, I am tired.
Oh, right, yes, so am I.
Just stay still,
And here we go. The cinematic will end. I will regain control. I will simply press the A button right now, and that's it. I hit him in the head with the English muffin, and I'll let this cinematic play out, and I will rejoin you once it's over.
I didn't really like him that much.
No, neither did I. He was a bit of a bore, wasn't he?
Quite so.
Such a waste. We took pity on him when we found him in the depths. We regret that choice now. He brought us nothing but hardship and frustration. Champion, you have served us well. We are most pleased. You have given us the gift we have always dreamed of. A new home to call our own. For that, here is a final token of our gratitude. We were right to trust our faith in you. And now, we ask you to perform one final task for us. Send us to the Promised Land. Subjects, your queen commands you. Onward! Make final preparations. Our journey is at hand.
Yes, Your Grace! It's actually happening. Actually going. Where are we going? I don't know. Excellent!
Thank you, champion.
Back in control, we are in the farmhouse, and all we need to do now is run up to the attic, unlock a box, press a button, and that will initiate the final cutscene. So here we go. Use the key, box opens up, press the button, and right here, the achievement for Maize Runner will pop for you if you have completed the game in under 2 hours and in one session. And what we will have from here is a ending sequence. It's going to last for a few minutes. That will then transition into a credits sequence where a fancy rock song plays. At the end of those credits, you will be returned to the title screen, and at that point, the final achievement, the 12th progression achievement called The End, that will unlock for you. And at that point in time, if you followed my guide, you will have completed the game, 14 achievements, 1,000 gamer score. If you had missed anything along the way in terms of folios or collectibles, there is a chapter select. You would have to try to figure out which one you missed and where it is, and you could use that chapter select to go back and get it. Otherwise, I want to thank you for watching the video. I want to thank Macca again for allowing me to be involved, and I do look forward to seeing you in another video. I hope you enjoyed this game. I thought it was fun, and I will see you another time. Goodbye.
Subjects, the promised land awaits.
This really is quite the ride.
Oh, yes, quite so.
Did you close the fuel hatch?
I thought you did.
I was having a nap.
So was I. Me too. They're just so lovely.
Uh-oh.
You are all such idiots.